Hello, everybody. I just got back from the store getting my cat some food, and I am a victim of the drive-through culture we have here in America. So, of course, I stopped at the Golden Arches. I got myself a quarter pounder, a cheeseburger, and also I got a large chocolate shake, which, of course, I drank the entirety of on the way home. So, not only am I a victim to the jingling keys of a drive-through, but also I am a fat fuck. Real topic. So while I was there, I saw a little teaser video. Now we're not going to watch the teaser video. We did plenty of react videos leading up to the patch. We just have the patch notes right here. So I basically was Jonathan saying, "Hey guys, we have a new patch out," and then he listed like a few of the things that they're changing. And this is an exciting one. Not only is this 0.5.2, but he also said in the video that next week we'll be getting 0.5.3 already. They're moving fast. And I think that because this is like also so close with the news about the PoE1 League, this is kind of where we're starting to see the proof in the pudding of them having like two fully fledged teams for each of the games. This is very, very exciting. So let's get into some of the changes, and there are some bangers in here. So added new on the win multi-choice keystone to the Atlas passive tree, granting the option between Asmeri Spirits with 50% increased movement speed, that's the one I'm picking, or Asmeri Spirits no longer dematerializing when there are no players nearby. I think if it's quick movement speed paired with another change that's coming in here very soon, I'm not really going to let it dematerialize. So I think I'm good on that one. The partial translations Atlas master option has been redesigned. Instead of granting 20% chance for double effect of explicit modifiers on tablets, it now randomly gains 0 and 40% increased effect of explicit modifiers on tablets. Wow, more gambling. Yippee! Mortuary map, which is only available through the unexpected missions Jado Atlas master option, now allows you to replace a limb, same as Aziri's Temple, in the end of the map boss fight. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Added various indicators to help guide players to use Ancient Mechanism after defeating the Arbiter of Divinity. That's good, that's good. At first I wasn't exactly sure what to do afterwards. Also because I bugged. I think I bugged the first time or maybe the second time on the Arbiter of Divinity, and he just didn't drop any of his loot. Very, very interesting. But Queen's Ritual from the Mysterious Rites Atlas passive now have 10 additional omens in the first set of favors. Cool. That's nice. That's nice. So kind of a ritual buff. It's very nice. The Mysterious Rites Atlas passive now describes all the other bonuses of the Queen's Ritual previously had as well. Nice. Added a new Necrotic Catalyst, which adds quality that enhances minion modifiers on Ring Amulet. There's also a What? Oh my god, even more minion buff. Minion modifiers on a ring or amulet. There's also a refined necrotic catalyst, both of which are available through the Genesis tree. Added a quick action menu to the endgame map when playing with a controller. Press hold X square with the endgame option and now show this menu. Okay? Alright, some delirium changes. This is very, very good. This is very, very needed. Guys, I'd like it to be known, I haven't even eaten my quarter pounder yet. I haven't even taken a bite of it. I wanted to make this video first. So can you give a like and subscribe? Come on. Come on. And if you made it this far in the video, and if you make it to the end especially, type quarter pounder. Now if you make it to the end, type half pounder in the comments. Delirium changes. Half the amount of toughness that unique enemies in the fog gain during delirium encounters. Okay, very good. Straight up, I completely have just, I refuse to do delirium. It is so far and away the most dangerous mechanic out of all of the league mechanics in the game right now. And on top of that, for the least reward. What are we even doing? So if it's going to be that hard for that little reward, there's just no point. All risk, no reward. So half the amount of toughness that unique enemies get and half the amount of increased damage that normal magic and rare enemies in the fog gain during delirium encounters. Very, very good. Delirium shards on the bar now spawn when you get to the correct depth, as opposed to slightly earlier. They now are placed better when spawning to be less likely to be directly on the player's location. Okay. Delirium mirror shards spawned from hitting depth targets on the bar no longer persist after the delirium encounter ends. I didn't even know that was a thing. Sounds like a bug. Runes of Alder change. Okay, this also needed some changes. A lot of people really like it during the early campaign, and then it falls off extremely hard as you go farther and farther into the game. Now, I know to really get like all the best things, you have to go into the expedition, and that way you find a lot more of the, the remnant encounters and whatnot in your expeditions. But to be fair, like for now at least, they just need to make it stronger in general because this is the new mechanic of the league. So whether I'm doing expedition or not, I want to be interacting with it. And it's just 99% of the time I'm running into these, 3 rune uh remnant encounters, and I don't even click on them anymore. I don't even click on them to see what they have. So hopefully this changes that. Significantly improved the rewards from remnant encounters tier 14 maps and above. Nice. Many of the 3-slot runic inscriptions no longer appear at these levels, or have a reduced chance to appear from tier 10 maps onwards. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Rune Father's Alloy and Rune Binder's Alloy are now found at 8 are now found as 8-slot runic inscription rewards in remnant encounters. Were those specific to 9 now? Or were those specific to 9 before? I don't know. I think these are the really expensive ones, right? I don't remember exactly. Bond rune in the remnant encounters has been changed. It still causes rare monsters each wave, the transfer modifiers on death. However, it spawns fewer rare monsters overall, especially when paired with a power rune. But the number of monsters in the rare monsters, but the number of modifiers rare monsters can have goes up per wave. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. The prismatic rune in remnant encounters no longer provides always shocks to monsters, and the resistances granted to monsters by this has been reduced. That's nice. That's good. It also now provides all damage contributes to flammability and ignite magnitude monsters. The damage gained as a random element benefit has been removed, but it's still present when empowered by our power rune. Every section of the ocean revealed by an expedition logbook is now guaranteed to contain at least one grand expedition. Nice. Expedition logbooks are going to go up even more money than they are now, unless they increase the drop rate. Right now, I found like 2 so far. I haven't done any expedition, but I found 2 so far in the open world, just like doing random remnants that I've found. And they sell for about 1.6, 1.8 div around there. So the Rune Master's ornate ring mail body armor base type now has 725 armor, 200. Okay, this is like a specific. We're talking numbers here. Rune Master's Pharaoh can now be invited to your hideout in the Runes of Outer Leagues. Nice. See, that's really nice because I've wanted to gamble on runes before just for fun. And for some reason, him specifically just wasn't available to come to my hideout. Like, that's very weird. I honestly forgot he was in the game at a point because I can't bring him into my hideout. And after, basically being in the end game for 100 hours now, it's like you kind of just forget he even exists. So, added quest markers to the runesmithing knowledge and interactables in Acts 2, 3, 4, and logbooks to draw attention to them. Good. Good. He also points out and like reveals where they are as well in the acts. So that is a change I'm excited to see on character number 2, which I'm starting very soon. The journey to the East Quest item now provides more direction on what to do with it and can now be turned into Danig in the ruins of Kingsmarch. Okay. The Transcendent Ally can no longer be applied to Foki and Wands. Okay. Rog no longer continues appearing at the end of Uthred's fight if you have already spoken to him there. That's good. Danig no longer appears at the end of Ulrana. Okay, Chujin Vrana. Okay. Monster changes. Let's see. Azamati the Faroon Prince dashes can no longer hit twice, and their dash skills have been adjusted so they aren't used on targets in melee range. Nice. Sura Blade of the Mist has now more wind-up time on her Cyclone and Chaos Strike skills. Her Cyclone skill is now unblockable, Red Flash, while the Chaos Strike can now be blocked. The damage of their Lightning Strike skill, Cyclone skill, melee skills, and combos has been reduced, and cooldown has also been added to their melee combo skill. These changes also apply to the variations of this boss. Okay. The Diamoria, Song of Death, and Savoria, Daughter of the Deep boss fights now only have a single petrification phase. Wow. That's good. I mean, that's like the singing woman with the boobies. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I mean, if you don't instantly burst her before she starts jamming out, that just like pastes a minute onto the boss fight. It's rough. Lowered the life of Jamin Ra, the Abomination, by roughly 17%. Wow. In the campaign. Uh people people have considered Yamin Ra the great, uh, not divider, not separator. It's where bad builds go to die. You will struggle extremely hard on Yamin Ra if you are a new player or if you have a really shitty build that simply just isn't up to snuff. He will filter you out. Oh, I think that's what people call him, the Great Filter. That's right. Reduce the damage of Vaynar the Frostbang's cascading. I wonder if he'll still be that way. 17%, that's honestly a pretty big number, just deleting 17% of his health. Reduce the damage of Vaynar the Frostbane's cascading slam skill. The change also applies to variations of this boss. Reduce the damage. Okay. Reduce damage, significantly reduce damage from the Chaos Volatiles of the Ritual Altar. That's nice. Reduce damage of hand slam. Reduce damage. Wow. They're reducing a lot of the damage of random things in the game, mostly bosses, but also some specific monsters that are like really strong. A fire beam skill from the Lightless Vengewing Abyss monster. Okay, okay. Well, okay, interesting. They're reducing a lot of the damage. I think a lot of people are just getting like super duper one shot right now, and they're trying to like sort it out a little bit. General changes and improvements. The Spirit Walker's Bear Spirit now companion now has a base presence radius of 8 meters. Okay. Sure. The Smash to Smithereens skill granted by Facebreaker unique gloves when transformed by the Martial Artist Way of the Stone Fist passive skill now explicitly states that it has no sockets. Cool. The Zarko gift passive skill now grants Sinister Jewel slot, previously Jewel socket. The Ice Storm notable passive skill now has 15% reduced effect chill on you and 15% increased magnitude of chill you inflict. It no longer provides unaffected by chilled ground, which was a non-functional. Interesting. Lightning Storm notable passive has 15% reduced effect shock on you. Okay, so it's kind of like the same thing as the Ice Storm one. Bitter Dead now has a base critical strike chance of 12%. Nice. Effects that prevent players from recovering life, mana, energy shield, or except in specific ways such as Volpac, Kato Ninetails, or Indigon no longer prevent recovery caused by the core game systems, including but not limited to checkpoints, healing wells, leveling up. Interesting. This also means that changing areas while you have one of these effects can no longer cause you to lose life, mana, or energy shield. Effects that prevent all form of recovery, such as Lich's Eternal Life, have not received this change. Delwyn is now found once again, closer to the Hunting Grounds entrance instead of in the wall. Somewhere else in the level. Okay, that's good. Not in a wall anymore. He's finally out. Flames now point towards the location of the boss in Azak Bog upon completing the Flame Skin ritual in the arena. Nice. Azak Bog is like, unless I'm thinking of something else, it's one of my least favorite zones. So if they could, if they're helping that out a little bit, that's nice. Asmirian Wisp will now choose a nearby target when they are released from a monster as opposed to a random one. So the Asmirian Wisp are always going to go for the closest rare, and then they will now choose the next closest rare after they're released, which is really great because also between rares, they're going to have 50% more movement speed if you choose that option. So I think that's very, very cool. That is very, very nice to see. It's going to be a big quality of life. Asmirian Wisps have always, pretty much since their implementation, have been a pain point in the community. I really do feel like they definitely buffed the amount of idols that you get. I have gotten way more idols this league as compared to 0.3, where I had also a shit ton of hours. So very, very happy with the changes being made here. Devour can no longer consume living players. Liches are friends, not food. Improve the visibility of rogue exiles as well as their behavior. They should now also not have life bars appear when they are not so far away. Okay, that is really nice. I like that. I like that. Rogue exiles are very, very strange, kind of annoying, and bugged. For these reasons, they are annoying, which they're, being fixed. I dislike that, like, you have to basically walk melee to them for them to even notice you exist, and then they'll start fighting you. And then also having the life bar appear when it's like literally, like, especially on an inside map, it's like 4 rooms over. I'm like, where the hell is this guy? Is very annoying. And then also there is a bug. I wonder if they're fixing it. We're not going to go through all the bug fixes. We're just going to hope that they fix the ones that we're excited that they fixed. But anyway, yeah, there is definitely a bug that I've encountered many times. If you, maybe we'll look for this one specifically. When you kill a rogue exile near a ritual, and then they get resummoned by the ritual, they aren't fighting you anymore. They're just walking around. Genuinely. They're not fighting. They're not hitting back. They're just walking around the ritual in circles, or sometimes like running in place. It's actually insane. It's ridiculous. But yeah, pretty big bug with rogue exiles. So improve conductive runes. So description to explicitly state that the damage is not yet based on your weapon's damage. An effect is now played on characters when gaining a shrine buff. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I like that. Okay. Let's see. Just double checking. You could be teleported out of the ritual encounters when fighting the fungus behemoth. Oh, that happened to me before. Nice. Oh, I hear that the Raven's flock staff was bugged, and I think this is the fix for it. I don't know if this is the exact issue that people were having, but yeah. Fix the bug with fleeing rogue exiles, sometimes not drop loot. Another bug with rogue exiles. I'm glad that that's fixed. This is sometimes stray from the essence crystal where they were supposed to be contained in. Okay, I've not seen that. Or maybe I have. I think I've opened a rogue exile essence and then nothing happened. Maybe he like teleported away and then I found him later. And then like that didn't like register in my brain. But yeah, that looks like it's it for rogue exiles. Those 2 changes there. I might be missing some big bug fixes here. I don't even know every bug that's present in the game. I'm just looking really quick, basically skimming through like half of them. To see if there's any that I know, that I recognize. Okay. Oh, more instance and client crashes. Very nice. Very good. They basically had these little notes at the bottom of every hotfix that they've done. They're trying so hard, and I'm still getting crashes. So hopefully these are gonna fix some of the ones that I've been experiencing. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. We're going to make another video for 0.5.3 coming up, but this is amazing. I mean, these devs are on another level right now, especially with how good 0.5 has been. I cannot wait to jump in the podcast and talk to you guys about that. But I really want to like really play the shit out of this league. Maybe even go through the campaign now on the second character before I do the podcast to kind of like give you an update on the updates that they've made to the campaign since launch, because they have actually added a lot of boost to the podcast. To the campaign. Like if we did the podcast right now, I'd be like, yeah, it was really annoying because I got to the end game and then I couldn't even I couldn't even do the upping on my uniques because I apparently missed that at some point in the campaign, so I had to like go back and find it. But then they fixed that. So that won't be a problem I have to talk about anymore if I go through the campaign and experience that, and how it is now. So, thank you all for watching. My quarter pounder with cheese has been speaking dirty to me under the mic here for the last 20 minutes. So, I'm going to eat that, and thank you all for watching. Love this patch. Hope you guys do too. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.